For nearly a century, we have faced a threat that we have never fully defeated. It has toppled democracies. It has consumed nations. We have fought it. We have destroyed entire countries to overthrow it. We have buried millions because of it. And yet, it keeps returning. That threat is called fascism. But we face a fatal issue when it comes to combating fascism. Because even though you know it when you see it, you can smell it, you can feel it, no one seems to know exactly what fascism is. Not a list of features or descriptions, the precise operational definition. What it is, how it works, why it works, and what it is trying to do. That is what I am going to give you today. The first thing to understand: this confusion around what fascism actually is not an accident. It is intentional. Fascism does not want you to understand it. The contradictions, the shifting reality, the denials, the inconsistency. These are intentional features of the system of lies fascism uses to obscure itself from you. We will go through this, but for now, just know, one of fascism's strongest defenses is that it is hidden, undefined, misunderstood, downplayed. Because if you don't know what a disease actually is, it's very difficult to treat it. And with fascism, that is on purpose. So, the definition. Fascism is an ideology. That means it is a mental operating system that programs its followers, fascists, to see the world and react to it in a certain way, according to the system they've been taught. The same situation, the same process, different situations, same process. Fascism is simple and highly predictable. Here it is. Every fascist movement rests on the same central premise. You are great, but greatness was stolen from you by some malicious force. And to get back to what is rightfully yours, we must remove or destroy the enemy that took it from you. They are all that stands in the way. And then, when they're gone, you will finally have your rightful greatness. One loop, repeating endlessly. You are great. You were wronged. Give me power, and I will destroy the enemy who robbed you. And then, when we've defeated them, you will finally have your entitled greatness. A perpetual motion machine of grievance, enemies, and revenge. And now, the core fascist lie. Fascism is not about greatness. That is only its pretext. That is the lie. Fascism is about harming the enemies it blames. Grievance, enemy, revenge, repeat. It does not spend its time on creation or progress. It spends its time on anger, enemies, punishment, grievance, enemy, revenge, repeat. There is no plan for greatness. Fascism does not build. Things will not get better. The plan is just more harm, more power, more violence, more corruption. And this is why fascism is violent. Always violent. Because it is inherently violent. The system demands violence. Things never get better. So fascism must continually invent new enemies and manufacture new crises to stay relevant. Constantly show the movement is still necessary. And because the greatness never comes, the fascist regime must show it is working, and so it must do violence to these enemies. Do you see the system yet? The violence, the grievance, the harm. That is fascism's legitimacy. That is its purpose. Harm is the only thing fascism can consistently deliver. Not progress, punishment. And so fascism must lie, always lie, destroy shared truth, destroy shared reality, destroy shared facts. Because if it is seen for what it is, it knows it will die. So it must hide from you that there is no plan, distort reality and truth until nothing can be known at all, because fascism knows it cannot deliver. The promised greatness was a lie. Fascism only speaks revenge and power, and so to hide this from their followers and from you, they lie, constantly lie, shamelessly distract, endlessly avoid, to keep people from realizing the movement itself was a lie all along. They will never admit wrong, even when it is proven. They will never admit truth, even when it is right before our very eyes. Truth is not a value in fascism. Truth is a weapon in fascism, a tool they use only to enable and obscure their crimes. Fascists always lie, because fascism itself is a lie. Fascism is a system of lies. So why does it come about? Why would anyone choose this? Firstly, fascism does not arise in healthy societies. Like many diseases, it requires a compromised system in order to take root. It is very important to understand. Initially, fascism is powered by legitimate grievance. Typically, when a people are betrayed or humiliated by their system and their leaders. The robbing of people by their politicians, the wealthy, the powerful, failed wars based on lies and done for profit, financial crises when a government saves the criminal elite at the expense of the people they had just victimized. Moral collapse, erosion of trust, degradation of financial and material conditions. Initially, legitimate grievance. And then comes the dictator, who takes this grievance and anger and redirects it, preys upon existing prejudices and divisions, and gives a simple answer. This was done to you by your enemy, and it's their fault. You are great, but you were wronged. So give me power, and I will do harm to the enemy that robbed you. And when they are gone, you will finally have your greatness. Fascism is not a conservative ideology. It is a revolutionary ideology. It appeals to conservatives by exploiting legitimate values like patriotism, strength, nation, heritage, but it seeks to overthrow and replace, not conserve. And just like any good lie needs to contain some truth, the fascist ideology needs to prey upon the legitimate values and impulses in the victims it turns into perpetrators. But it does not care about these values. It just uses them to say we must destroy. And when the destruction is over, you can have them back. In fascism, law and democracy are not the protectors of our common values. In fascism, law and democracy are what is standing in the way. And so now that we understand fascism, how do we understand its followers? Our family, our friends, our neighbors, the people who first become its victims and then become its perpetrators, the people who we watch support, follow, and defend anything. And the worse the fascist movement becomes, the more we watch them disconnect from truth and their own morality, humanity. In a corrupted system, when fascism comes along, it is often the only thing that speaks to its followers' real pain. And so it becomes their source of truth, which it exploits. And then it gives them purpose. And then it tells them what is good. And then it tells them what is evil. And then it destroys all external sources of meaning or truth. Everything is a lie. All information is fake. All experts are corrupt. Fascism uses the power it gains over its followers' sense of reality to intentionally place them in a hell of anger, victimization, conspiracy, and fear. The world is just an evil web of shifting conspiracies, shadowy puppeteers behind the scenes, dark forces impeding the promised progress, enemies lurking behind every corner, plotting against you. Only the leader can protect you. Only the leader cares about you. Only the leader can save you from the darkness he alone could show you. Deconstructing reality and its followers, piece by piece, until the only legitimate source of truth is the leader, and anything that questions the leader or the movement cannot be real, because the leader is the only one who is on your side in this hell he showed you. And without the movement, all of your new enemies will destroy you, and everything you hold dear. And now, you are indoctrinated. And to abandon the ideology would mean the collapse of the followers' sense of reality, and purpose, and meaning. And so, the false reality is defended, fiercely, against all the evidence that it is a lie. To lose it feels like losing everything. Very typical for the victims of con men, or cult members, or many other forms of radicalization. Pride, honor, strength, patriotism, heritage, identity. There is nothing wrong with any of these. In fact, they are good. But when they are used as a justification to do illegitimate harm to others, they are just more lies. And when the end comes, and it will, it doesn't matter why you committed the crimes. It just matters that you did. Fascism is a machine that promises greatness in exchange for harm, takes power, never delivers, and lies endlessly to hide from you. The lies are the point, because the truth would reveal what was there all along. And the truth is, this is fascism.